Meet Cape May County's newest freeholder, Will Morey, and find out about economic development and transportation infrastructures planned for Cape May County next on the Cape May County Report. Welcome back to the Cape May County Report. I'm Lenora Bonafonte, Cape May County Communications Director, along with freeholder Will Morey. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Morey.
My pleasure.
Freeholder, you are one of Cape May County's newest freeholders. You took office in January. You've been in office for about 9 months now. Prior to that, you've served on the Board of Education in Wildwood Crest for over 10 years. Tell us how it's been being a freeholder in Cape May County.
It's been a great experience. I have great respect for the employees and staff of the county. I've learned a great deal already, but there's a great deal to learn still yet to go. But it's been really interesting to me in terms of just, I mean, it's very different than business, but there are a lot of business principles that certainly apply. And it's been, I think, really interesting to sort of learn to decide where they apply and where they don't apply.
Well, you are president and CEO of your own corporation, and coming to county government, is there anything about government that you didn't anticipate? Well,
you know, I think that government is the way it is for many good reasons, and the way it is, I mean, it's, you know, it's very thoughtful, and you know, there's a real effort to make sure that people are heard, and that there's you know, an opportunities for hearings and for people to voice their concerns, and I think that's important. You know, I've always heard that it moves sort of slowly, and in fact, it does move sort of slowly. But I do think that in many cases it's for good reason, not for quite as many cases as I found. and I think that, you know, we've been able to I think move an agenda in certain areas a little more quickly than. Or a little more quickly, and I think that's really, you know, what we should have done. So, I mean, I feel good about that. As I said, there are a lot of business principles that apply. There's a good team there, and I think that you know, it's exciting to look at the potential.
Well, coming from a business background and president of your own company, are you able to put those that experience to work at county government?
Yeah, absolutely. The reason I became involved in government is because I really felt that the county was the place where, from a regional and planning perspective, that was the area that needed really more proactive. And you know, my view was there's a leadership position there. The county needed to exercise that leadership position. That's not to say that they should, you know, try to tell any municipality what they should do, but they should really work with the municipalities, work with the region, and work with the state to try to you know, build up and lift Cape May County for the benefit of its residents.
So be the facilitator, take the lead, and bring the communities together for the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And the county has you know, great resources, and its staff has a lot of expertise, and they're really the natural leader of initiatives that should be undertaken on a regional basis.
Now, coming into county government, you didn't take anything for granted. You were the new kid on the block, and you came in, and along with freeholder Christine DeBoer, who's our other new freeholder on the board, the two of you took to go on the road to each municipality to meet with local governments, chambers of commerce, different groups, to find out what the community wanted from their freeholders. Tell me about that experience and what you learned by doing that.
Well, it was really a great learning experience. We were very warmly received and welcomed, and you know, I don't think there's a better way than to go into the community, to spend time with the mayor and some of the staff members there, and really talk about the challenges that they were facing. And I think what we learned was that, you know, certainly it was a reinforcement that these communities are all unique, and they have their unique set of issues. Now, the coastal communities tend to be a little more aligned in their issues than the mainland communities, but in fact, they have their own unique situations, problems, challenges, and opportunities. So it was a great way, I think, to, you know, to show our interest in working together, into opening up a dialogue, and really trying to understand firsthand some of the issues they were dealing with.
Well, it's important and interesting that you said that all of the communities are unique, and all of the 16 municipalities bring something different to Cape May County. By doing that, has that helped you now when you go to make a decision, seeing how it affects all of those communities that you visited? Without
question. I mean, you take a look at the Wildwoods themselves, and there they are on one island, right? But really very unique communities in and of themselves. And now contrast that to Woodbine or to Cape May Point. So it was really important, I think, to understand that while planning regionally is really important, you really have to look carefully at what that plan might mean to each of the different municipalities, because it will likely affect them differently. So having a better understanding of what their interests were, what their concerns and challenges and needs were, I think helps us to do that.
Were you surprised to see how much diversity there is in Cape May County, from the farmlands to the the rural areas and the urban cities?
I really was, and as I think I mentioned earlier, I see even more potential for the county than I did before coming to this position, which is a lot more exciting than coming to this position and saying, what did I get myself into? I'm really excited for the future.
Well, as a freeholder, you oversee departments that can make a difference in these areas. You're Director of Planning, Economic Development, and Transportation Infrastructure. And many will say it's all those things together that do fuel the engine for the future of economic growth. Tell us, that has been one of the issues that you've made a priority, is economic growth. What do you feel needs to be done?
Well, one of our primary focuses certainly is to support the tourism economy, because it's a giant, obviously, engine for Cape May County, and there are many ways that I think that can be supported and enhanced beyond where it is today. But my primary focus was to look at what could be second and third areas of employment to bolster our economy, and that to me is really the important focus, to have more year-round positions, to have more opportunity for our young people is a critical reason for building this economy.
Well, in these tough economic times that seem to be continuing, finding a job and having jobs are very important. Why do you feel it's important that the county take a lead in this role?
The county, we all can be somewhat guilty of being sort of provincial and looking at our own sort of area in our own town, but it's all connected. It's from a tourism perspective, from an educational perspective, and I think our opportunities beyond tourism are really interconnected. So the county has, I think, a key role in not only in planning for the county, but also reaching out to the region. Our sister counties to the north and to the northwest, really are key partners in how we develop this area as well. There's a lot of gainful employment beyond the county line. It's important that the county recognize that and interact in a way that's really productive with our sister counties as well. So
think regionally.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, when you talk about economic development, this year you were able to get the freeholders to put some money into the budget for economic development. Tell us how those funds are being used and what you hope to accomplish with that.
Well, one of the areas of concern for a number of years has been the airport, and certainly if you talk with the officials at Lower Township, they'll certainly share their frustrations and some of the issues at the airport. But the airport, while it has great challenges, it certainly offers some very interesting opportunities. So a portion of the economic development money was put into hiring an aviation expert or consultant to help us try to understand the assets and the opportunities of the airport facility, and to put us in a better position to interact with the DRBA. The DRBA is the operator and the leaseholder of the airport, so it's critical that we have a good understanding of the challenges they're facing and be able to work with them in partnership to address them. So that's where a portion of the money went. Naval Air Station Wildwood has done a great job there. We've been working with them to help them further their plan while enabling the rest of the airport to be able to develop as well. A number of issues, had to be dealt with there, water supply issues, a number of things. But I think we're off to a very good start. We have a very receptive leadership now at the DRBA, and I'm really encouraged at their interest in that facility.
Well, when you look at the county airport, and you fly yourself and you've been to other airports, when you come to the airport, it's the first thing that you see if you're coming from air, and the county airport really doesn't have anything there at this time, but you feel there's things that you could bring and then build upon. I mean, that can be a place for businesses to grow.
Well, absolutely. I mean, if you look at the jet traffic into Cape May County throughout the summer, it's well over 500 jet aircraft that have come in. So it's not a secret. The airport's not a secret. It's really a very good airport on the aviation side. It's when you turn off the runway that things have been a little more challenging, in terms of what's known as an FBO, or fixed base operator, that would receive the aircraft and provide basic services. They've been restored now. The DRBA has done a good job of restoring those services on the interim. Those are very important in order to attract more attention to the airport. But there's clearly opportunities for aviation uses of the airport as well, and I don't think that's something we've really pursued to the level that I think we can. So while the airport has industrial park opportunities, we really want to look at it from an aviation standpoint as well. It's an ex-Navy base. It's a big place. There's a lot of opportunity there.
So instead of just building the industrial park, which a lot of people have said that needs to be done, you're saying it can also expand as an airport.
Well, not in terms of runways, but it's the industrial aspect of it could well support aviation uses and aviation leases, and to bring aviation industry to the airport, I think, is part of our opportunity.
Now, when you looked this 9 months into the year and what you've done so far, when you look to the future, what are some of the projects that you like to look at? I know open space is also something that you...
The airport is obviously a very significant one. We're spending a lot of time really trying to sort of study what are the drivers, what are the impediments of some of these other areas of opportunity other than tourism. We have made substantial changes to the open space program, consistent with a number of other counties, so that our open space program is also available now for recreation, enhancements and uses, historical preservation, things like that. And we're really looking at open space as a stimulus for economic development as well. There are strategically important places where open space and/or recreation or historic preservation could spur an economic opportunity around it. So we're trying to think more strategically and integrate open space with the economic development plan.
So instead of just preserving the open space, it will still be preserved, but it will have a use, whether it's recreation or something that blends into the community.
Something that would, an area that, the county is blessed with a tremendous amount of open space naturally, and surely there'll be additional open space parcels that we should look at and purchase. But as you described, we want to look at how open space can be a stimulus for growth, for enhancement of quality of life, and what it might mean to a community in order for it to build on it.
And one of the things that plays into all of this is transportation and transportation infrastructure. We're going to take a break. When we come back, County Engineer Dale Foster is going to join us, and we'll talk about some of those projects that are coming up in Cape May County. So please stay with us.
How far would you go to discover a new treasure? How far to stand on the edge of the earth, to step back in time, to be amazed? How far would you go to lower your heart rate, to heighten your senses, to breathe, really breathe? Your journey begins at njsouthernshore.com, New Jersey's Southern Shore region. How far would you go to feel young again? How far to capture the sun, to walk in the wild, to celebrate new traditions? How far would you go to just slow things down? Your journey begins at njsouthernshore.com, New Jersey's Southern Shore region.
Welcome back to the Cape May County Report. I'm Lenora Bonafonte, Cape May County Communications Director, along with Freeholder Will Morey, and joining us now is Cape May County Engineer Dale Foster. Dale, for more than 20 years, we've heard about traffic lights on the Garden State Parkway and the fact that Cape May County is the only county along the Garden State Parkway that has traffic lights. A public meeting was recently held, and the parkway lights are going to go away.
This is true. It's very close to actually happening. The Turnpike Authority is expected to go out to bid in late October for the project and award the project in December of this year, with construction starting in March of next year. And then that will be should be completed by the end of 2015. So it's a long overdue project. There'll be a lot of activity because it's going to be one construction project. It's going to be building 3 overpasses. The Garden State Parkway will go over Shell Bay Avenue, Stone Harbor Boulevard, and Crest Haven Road. So it's a big monumental project that's going to be great for Cape May County.
And you've been working on this for many years, and the county, what role have you played getting involved with the municipalities and the whole mapping of what it's going to look like?
I've been working very closely with the Turnpike Authority because the overpasses actually go over county roads. So most of the roads that are impacted are county roads. And I've been getting the word out for the Turnpike Authority, going to civic association meetings, describing the project. And I've been working with them to get through some of the issues. The hospital had some parking issues, and some of the other agencies had some issues. So I've been working with them, trying to work them out along with the Turnpike Authority and the consultant that's doing the design for the Turnpike. So
now, although we've heard about the changes and the massiveness of the project that's going to take place, what can people expect once this starts? And now say we start in December, what are the first things that people are going to see happening?
Well, what they'll do is they're going to fix one of the roadways to take traffic in both directions. Right now you have a southbound and northbound. So they're going to move all the traffic into one of the lanes, or one of the direction of traffic, and put 2 lanes in. Right now we have 3 lanes through the courthouse area. It'll be dropped down to 2 lanes during construction. And then they'll start building the new overpasses. All right, building some of the new ramps on that particular side that they're doing all the work on. So that will be for the first summer season, getting that done. Then once we're done through that summer season, the next season, the traffic will be on the new bridges, all right, because they're building half the bridge at a time. So, the first summer is going to be the toughest because the traffic signals will still be in place. Whereas the second summer, you'll have traffic up on the new bridges and things should flow a little easier, but it's construction. You're always going to have rubbernecking. But like I said, it's one big construction contract, so all 3 overpasses will be under construction at the same time.
So Freeholder Morey, we've heard about this through the years, and everyone agreed that it was important to remove the traffic signals for safety reasons. And also in the summertime with the traffic and the bottleneck on the parkway. Why is it important that this project does get underway, and what does it mean for Cape May County?
Well, I mean, the access enhancement is fantastic. We need to be an easy place to visit, an easy place to get to. There are a lot of issues with respect to transportation, but getting this parkway done after all these years, I think, is really critical. As you mentioned, tremendous safety enhancements. And beyond that, while lesser important to safety, but certainly very meaningful to the economy, I just think folks will be, they won't be so constrained as to when they leave and when they have to plan to arrive and those type of things, because we won't have these bottlenecks that we have now.
So it's going to be a little bit of a headache while it's underway construction, but it'll be worth all the work.
Yes, it will be worth it. Just from the safety point of view, by eliminating those traffic signals, it's going to be worth it.
Now, one of the other projects, a new project that Freeholder Morey, you were interested in getting the county involved with, bringing this about, was assisting the Wildwoods with a regional project with the Rio Grande entrance. Tell us about that project.
Sure. It's really an important project because that is, well, the island's one of their main egresses in emergency situations, and there's really a terrible flooding problem there at high tides and in storm events. So part of the issue is to try to improve that situation, but also the inflows and outflows of traffic off the island they really get bottled up in that area because of just the intersection that is dysfunctional. So the engineering department has come up with, I think, a really good plan to aid both flow into the island and off the island. And you have to remember, there's 5 municipalities that are touched by that road system, both North Wildwood and Wildwood Crest and Lower Township Diamond Beach section and West Wildwood, to some degree, all use that area. So I think it's really a good project, and it's been great. approaching these projects in a collaborative way is really important. All the mayors from the community were involved in the project, and the Tourism Authority in Wildwood is involved in doing aesthetic enhancement designs for it, so it's really a great team effort.
Dale, tell us about the improvements and the timetable for completion there.
Well, right now, part of the project is on the state highway, so we're looking to work or partner with New Jersey Department of Transportation on that portion of the road. Okay. As far as a timetable, we're hoping to have some improvements for next summer season, you know, some easy things that we might be able to do. But then we're looking to get into a big program to address this. We're going to be looking to try to raise the roadway up so we get rid of some of the nuisance flooding. Because right now, every time we have a new moon or a full moon tide, it floods down there at that intersection. And unfortunately for motorists coming into Wildwood, they get off the parkway. There's no signs, no nothing telling them that the road's flooded. They get all the way to the George Reading Bridge and they have to turn around and go back because they can't get in that entrance. So we want to be able to raise that up. And then we're looking to build some left turn lanes for the westbound traffic, because people bottleneck trying to get to Old Rio Grande Avenue and to try to get onto Susquehanna Avenue southbound, and that ties up the exiting traffic. So we're looking to either put in a slip ramp or put left turn lanes in there. So it's a big undertaking. Another problem is when you come across the George Reading Bridge, there's no signs to tell you where to go. You come to that first traffic signal, there's no directional signs. So this is something we want to work on, you know, get signage, get destination signs put in there so that people know where to go and get in the right lane when they're coming into town. And also, we want to dress it up so it looks nice. You know, right? This is the entrance into the Wildwoods. As the Freeholder said, there's 5 communities there, and we want to make a good impression on our visitors and also for our residents to, you know, make them feel good about their community. So
it is a very important project for the region, and when you said that, it made me think so many times with emergency management, and when we're saying what conditions there are, one of the first things that I'm telling people is that the George Reading Bridge is closed, that there's flooding in the Wildwoods. So in an emergency, this is important that these areas are addressed. So looking at them now is a benefit for the entire community.
Oh yes, very much so.
One of the other major projects that we've been talking about is the Garden State Parkway Bridge, and with the Beasley's Point Bridge being closed, building a new bridge there has become a priority. Tell us about the Garden State Parkway Bridge, and is that being fast-tracked?
Yes, that project has really moved along. The Turnpike Authority only started talking about that last year, and they're already set to go out to bid. They're going to be receiving bids for the new southbound structure coming into Cape May County. And that's over Drag Channel, which is a small bridge, and then also Great Egg Harbor Bay, which is the big bridge coming into Cape May County. It's only the southbound bridge, but it's going to be built to new design standards. It will have wide shoulders, but it will only be 2 lanes. But their unique feature, particularly for the Turnpike Authority, is they're putting a multi-purpose path on the bridge. Along with that, you'll be able to fish off the drag channel bridge that the Turnpike's putting in. So it's something very new for the Turnpike, because the Turnpike has always been automobile and truck traffic only.
And no transport, no pedestrians.
Exactly. So it's something, you know, they're grasping it. It's a great concept that they've come up with for this.
So will it allow bikes and pedestrians?
Yes, it will be. It's going to be a 10-foot wide path that goes all the way from Summers Point in Atlantic County to Upper Township in Cape May County. And that's to, you know, because the bicyclists really use like the Beasley Point Bridge. They used to use that to get from Cape May County to Atlantic County. So this is what the Turnpike Authorities come up with. Like I said, they're going to have some fishing there because the Drag Channel Bridge over on Route 9 is currently loaded, particularly during striper season. It's loaded with fishermen. So now there'll be an area on the new bridge that's set up for fishing.
So Freeholder, this is unique to our area. It's unique on the Parkway, and it kind of blends in with our community, with our tourism industry and fishing. and bringing the people out there in the beautiful scenery that's
and,
there.
And there's really a growing focus on sort of the bikeability of Cape May County.
Yes.
And this obviously having this bridge that you sort of the grand entrance, as it were, to Cape May County is really important. And there are a number of cycling projects that are going on throughout the county, and very important to moving people throughout, because once again, we want to think regionally. We want people to move about and visit and enjoy all the assets of Cape May County.
And when you think of Cape May County and you think of it as a tourist place, people come, and when they come, they like to see it by foot or by bike. And one of the projects, another project that you're working on, you'd like to see completed, is when bikers come down, they want to see if they could bike all the way through, and they want maps of where they can bike. And one of the projects you're talking about is completing a bike path, connecting the Cape May Refuge with other communities and other existing bike paths. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's correct. The Cape May Wildlife Refuge is just a great natural resource that at this point is underutilized. It's not well marked, and Dale had mentioned about signage issues and wayfinding issues, but it's also a little bit difficult for the cyclists to get to now. And one can now cycle from the inlet in North Wildwood all the way through the community, across the boardwalk, through the crest. And we're looking for ways to enhance their accessibility into the wildlife refuge and to support the wildlife refuge in terms of its development and it being more user-friendly for our visitors.
So this focus with the bike paths, do you feel that's important to do that in a community such as Cape May County that has tourism as its economy?
There's no question. I think a focus of Cape May County should be to really enhance the ability to get from point to point by bicycle.
Now, Dale, there are so many projects underway, and we only have a little bit of time left. Kind of give us an overview of the projects that are taking place in municipalities.
Well, over the last year or two, we've been very fortunate to get a lot of federal funds. So and that's helped us do more road projects. So as a result, we're going to look to do Bay Avenue next year in Ocean City from 6th to 18th Street. That's a resurfacing project through there. We have a road improvement program scheduled for Middle Township, where we're looking to do portions of Hand Avenue, Dyers Creek Road, Mechanic Street, Goshen Road, Indian Trail Road. So there's a lot of projects that we're looking for resurfacing improvements on.
And there's a lot of different projects that are coming up in a year that are in the design phase. Tell us about some of those projects.
One of the projects, a good one, is we're going jointure with Cape May City. We have Delaware Avenue, which runs along the Cape May Harbor. We're having problems with the shoreline washing away and also the shoulder of the road. So we're looking to coordinate a project there to build a revetment wall that will work for the nature center that's right there on Delaware Avenue, but also provide a new path for visitors and residents to be able to walk on through in Cape May City there. It's a very nice project, and we believe we'll be able to get New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection funding for that project, paying up to 75% of that project. So we both benefit because it's an attraction, plus it's also going to provide us with protection to our roadway.
Well, there's so much going on in Cape May County. Unfortunately, we're out of time, so we can't talk about all the projects, but everyone can visit our website, capemaycountygov.net, to learn more about Cape May County. Thank you for joining us. Dale Foster, Freeholder, Morey.
My pleasure.
Thank you for joining us. Until next time, I'm Lenora Bonafonte. See you on the Cape May County Report. Thank you.